Hey there, I'm Sal D'Alia, the brand content lead for AdoramaTV, and you're just tuning in to Behind the Beat, where we explore how to create high-quality music videos on a budget. In each episode, I'll share practical tips and tricks to elevate your video production and impress your audience. Whether you're flying solo or rolling with a crew, you can always think big and stretch that budget. In this episode, I'll break down the production of a music video shot on the streets of New York City in under 3 hours, with a total budget of $1,100. The video is for Crazy by Ben Goldsmith, an incredibly talented 18-year-old who has already released 2 albums and is currently touring the country with his band.
You're making me crazy. You're making me lose my mind. You're making me crazy, and I need it all the time.
My initial meeting was with the Sony label in Nashville, where Ben is based. We discussed the concept, the song, and the location. I originally proposed shooting in Nashville, but after learning that Ben would be passing through New York during the tour, I suggested filming here instead. Ben, who's originally from Long Island, loved the idea. I met Ben in person the week before the shoot, and we lunched together. I was also invited to see him in concert that night, which was incredibly useful. It allowed me to observe his movements, energy, and charisma on stage before our shoot. Throughout the filming, I reminded Ben of that stage energy to help him feel more comfortable in front of the camera. After the concert, I finalized the mood board for the video, including the main colors, vibe, on-camera talent, and storyline based on the lyrics. To create a mood board, I look for inspiring movie scenes or music video from artists I admire. The goal is to find an image or a shot that sparks the creation of an entire scene or sometimes the whole video. For this project, I used Pinterest, as well as watching movie scenes featuring lone character, searching for something that could be love or something else, driving him to despair. I also revisited a short film I shot for Sony and Adorama during the pandemic, which helped me save time by avoiding location scouting. I already knew the best angle from previous shoots. I cast Marisa Roper as the love interest for the video. If you are an AdoramaTV viewer, you might recognize her from the many tutorials we've done together, but this time we aim for a more cinematic approach. In the song, Ben describes a love interest driving him crazy. Instead of a linear love story, I decided to depict Marisa almost as a ghost or an imaginary lover. They never interact physically or appear in the same shot, which prompts viewers to question if she's real or a figment of his imagination. Marisa uses a vintage film camera, reminiscent of Vivian Maier, an iconic street photographer in New York City. The camera's mirror becomes the only means of communication between the characters, nodding to the power of photography as a form of communication.
Oh my god, that's so sick.
I think this is basically the only way.
I love leaving the interpretation open, allowing viewers to connect with the video in their own way. Once Ben approved the concept, we moved on to pre-production. I asked Ben and Marisa to send outfit options before the shoot to ensure a cohesive visual presentation. Finding a rooftop with a stunning view of the Manhattan Bridge was crucial for my concept. Such locations are often expensive, unless you know someone with access to a great spot. I used Peerspace and allocated the largest portion of the budget to book 1 hour on this rooftop. Timing was essential, as I planned to shoot around sunset at 8:20 p.m. to capture 4 to 5 lip-sync shots with Ben. Given the hot and humid July weather, we needed to make the most of that hour. Despite shooting outdoors, a makeup artist was essential to prevent sweat from reflecting light on Ben's face. My total budget of $1,087 was allocated among the rooftop location, the makeup artist, on-camera talent, and Uber rides between locations. We began with the rooftop at sunset, which provided a beautiful view and was a great way for Ben to warm up in front of the camera. A tip is to start with wide shots when the artist is still warming up. This helps avoid mistakes that are more noticeable in close-ups. I try to reserve close-ups for later in the shoot, when the talent is more relaxed. Everything I needed for the shoot fit in my Nanook backpack, including my Sony Alpha 7S III, a 35mm f1.4, a 7200 f2.8, and a 40mm 1.8, all Sony G Master lenses. I also brought a Hobolite portable light, a Peak Design tripod, variable ND filters by Tiffen, the DJI Ronin gimbal, and a small crystal for reflections. To fully utilize the rooftop view, I used the 7200 zoom lens to compress the background and create a nice frame around my subject. A wide-angle lens would have included too much sky and minimized the skyline's prominence. The DJI Ronin was used to add movement around Ben, helping the footage blend seamlessly with the street shots. After the rooftop, we moved to Chinatown for its neon signs, which added color and depth. Weeknights are quieter, with fewer tourists and more space for our scenes. I asked Marisa to join us later, allowing me to focus on Ben's lip-sync shot first. Once Marisa was ready, we shot similar scenes for both of them, to emphasize their simultaneous presence without physical interaction. I also used a slow shutter technique with a shutter speed of 1/30th of a second or slower to create a blur effect for moving element, while keeping the subject sharp. This technique enhances the theme of the love story being imaginary or a memory. When shooting on the fly, it's important to capture as much coverage as possible, even with one lens. Get both wide shots and details to make editing smoother and the video's visual rhythm flow better. After Chinatown, we got few shots in Little Italy and then to our final location, the Cola Sign landmark in Long Island City. And by 10:30 p.m, we finished shooting there. The red light from the sign provided a moody ending to the video, and it was the perfect spot to use the Hobolite to play with blue and red colors. Akiva, Adorama social media manager, helped by holding the light and following Ben's movement, taking advantage of the Hobolite's compact size and weight. The final shot featured Ben's guitar solo with the Cola sign in the background, creating a striking blue and red contrast. Ben's guitar solos are a highlight of his live performances, and I wanted to capture that energy in the video. During the editing process, I enhanced the dreamlike storyline with film grain and scratches filters. I use this filter mostly because what was once normal now feels nostalgic, like memories from the past. I also incorporated stock footage from old New York City shoots to save time and resources. Burn film effects were used to create seamless transitions between clips. You can easily drag the burn film clip on top of the two shots that you want to blend. Try to pick the highest point of saturation or exposure, and then in the composite option, go to screen. The burn effect will blend with the clips and give you a nice, smooth transition. After finding the right flow and applying all filters and overlays, I focus on color correction. With such vibrant visuals and street lighting, precise white balance was crucial to maintaining good color. I spent time adjusting tints and correcting Marisa's eye color, which had turned orange from the street light reflection. Once the video was approved by Ben and Sony, it was time to export. Using Vinci Resolve, I chose custom export settings for platforms like YouTube, ensuring optimal quality with a bitrate of around 60 to 80,000 kbytes per second. I hope you enjoyed this episode and watching Crazy by Ben Goldsmith. If you have any question, please leave a comment. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of Behind the Beat.